Just a minute, Sal. The red bar. Sometimes it gets locked up. Oh, should be live. Headphones on, sir. Okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Huh? Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good there. I always got to make sure it's working. It always takes a minute.
Sure.
All right, we are good. Let's jump in, sir. Welcome to Just Curious Media. This is Let's Talk Cobra Kai. I'm Jason Connell.
And I'm Sal Rodriguez.
All right, Sal, we are back for another episode. And, sir, we have crossed over the halfway point.
Yes. We're on the other side of the hill.
Other side of the hill. Still going up.
Yeah, because there's a lot. I mean, it's like when you get to
this
this point, you're thinking like, how are they going to wrap this up? You know, everything's a mess, basically.
Many seasons, Sal. Many seasons ahead. Yeah, this is season 4, episode 6. Chicks. Why scratch that? Kicks get chicks. Yeah, it's a bit of a tongue twister when I look at it. It's like, is this really what the name of the episode? But it's a very, very fitting title for this episode, I must say.
And where have we heard that before? Haven't we heard that somewhere before?
Oh, I'm sure it came out of Johnny's mouth at some point in time.
Okay.
So before we jump in, we must give a word to our sponsor.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. Support for Let's Talk Cobra Kai is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming and offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped, and with this exclusive offer, you'll get
20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code cobrakai at manscaped.com.
Yes, indeed. Great stuff, I might add.
Oh, yeah. I'm still a fan.
Still a fan.
Yeah.
So, as always, Cobra Kai is brought to you by Netflix. All episodes in the season dropped on December 31st, 2021. This is season 4, episode 6. Chicks. I did it again. Kicks get chicks. I have tongue twisted myself into this whole episode.
No, you know why? Because
Chicks
I think there's another
kicks.
phrase. I think there's another phrase. I don't know where this phrase came from in my head, but chicks dig kicks.
Yeah, there you go.
Haven't we heard that somewhere?
Yeah,
Both of them are. I don't know which one.
Season 4, episode 6. Kicks get chicks. The rating, Sal, for this episode is 8.1 on IMDb. Not as high as last week, but hey, these things, I'm just putting them out there to say consistent with the past, but they kind of go all over the place, but they do give you a barometer of like the most popular episodes of the season. And usually it's 5 and 10, 1, 5 and 10 kind of seem to hit those notes for whatever reason, but we'll see how it holds up at the end of the season. The synopsis for this episode is: a major change to the upcoming tournament sends Johnny scrambling to find a new recruit for Eagle Fang. Tory must ask a favor of the LaRussos.
Wow.
Whew, a lot there, and that is on point. That is exactly what's at play here. I like how it just spells it out for us.
Yeah, that last sentence though. Tory must ask a favor of the LaRussos. Really? What?
Well, she does ask a favor.
I know, but
we're going to get to that. I know. Just reading it and get you excited to delve in. So I am ready to jump into our scene by scene breakdown if and when you are.
Oh man, I'm so anxious. I love where they open. I love it.
I know. Anytime we see that sign outside, I'm like, oh yeah. I get all excited.
Yep.
And we open at the All Valley Sports Arena, and it's board meeting time, Sal. Minus one sensei, yes. Daniel, current sensei.
Yeah,
because he's on the board. Johnny's not on the board, to be clear.
Yeah, but it's a conflict of interest to have a current sensei then on the board, right?
Makes total sense.
Sure.
Right. So Ron begins the meeting. And of course, I noticed, Sal, that it's sponsored by Coke. A lot of Coke products on the table there.
Oh, really? I didn't notice that.
That is. And it gets off the tracks immediately.
Oh, yeah. We're going to see like a Ron versus Daryl.
Totally. And what does Daryl chime in to say? Because I've always known him he's always piping up about the blue mats. And it's case in point here, Sal. What does he say right out of the gate?
Clearly, the blue mats led to a surge in attendance. Why would we go back to the red mats? And he's passionate about this.
Yeah, he's defending it, and where's the stats to prove that the surge in attendance? I love it. Is there like, little cards they fill out, little customer cards on the way? Oh, those blue mats. I brought my whole family to see those blue mats. So then Sue, there's a lot of things going on. We're meeting some new people here. And Sue's great. She's kind of busting balls here, Sal.
Yeah.
She calls George out for having 3 divorces.
Oh.
Ouch. And then she references the Malcolm Jamal Warner debacle. Sal, then Gavin makes a great point about boys fighting girls. Now, this is something that wasn't part of the Karate Kids All Valleys, but it did happen in the first All Valley in Cobra Kai. And I know we even talked about it. I've thought about it, and he makes a great point. And then there's a video, like a visual aid for him. And who's in that video getting beaten by a boy?
Well, it looked like a YouTube video.
Totally.
Wait a second. Did the video show Aisha getting beaten or her beating?
Her getting beaten.
Oh, okay. I was just so excited to see Aisha.
Oh, me too. Totally.
I didn't even realize that she was the one getting beaten.
But everyone's like, oh, yeah, maybe this isn't the best idea. Maybe we shouldn't be promoting this.
Yeah, it's problematic.
Yes, indeed. And then we hear George's great line from the trailer. God help us all, because they're in this meeting so long that there's, they're back to the whiteboard and their papers, and you could just time has passed. New coffee's been introduced on the table.
Oh, not just coffee; they got energy drinks all over.
Well, that's Coca-Cola as well. They make those.
Okay. So. The Coca-Cola makes the energy drinks,
and they even have a water. The AHA is also Coca-Cola, but you can just tell it's like if there was a clock on the wall, it just would have went by, like a few hours. It's like the jury deliberating, and they're like, oh my God, okay, what have we done? And I remember we speculated on this way back many episodes ago. And I was like, what if they're letting adults a master's division? Well, we're not going to get ahead of ourselves.
No,
but we do love the fact that there seems to be change, and we don't know what that change is just yet.
No, and I like how serious they take this. Even Ron says, oh my gosh, remember, this proposal will revolutionize the tournament. This is our legacy. Yeah. And then they all vote unanimous, by the way. Yep. And then he says, it's time to step into the future. And then I like when he says, send out the letters. You know what that reminded me of? That reminded me of Release the Kraken.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I have a question for you, Sal. Do you think in the Karate Kid Part 3 that there was this much debate over the returning champ rule change? Was it just like, we've got to soften things up? And what were they coming off of? We were coming off of this incredible 2-2 battle royale with Lawrence and LaRusso. I don't know why they made the change, but maybe someone out there was a different Ron, and maybe he had an agenda. But I would have loved to see that deliberation as well.
Yeah. Well, I'm to assume that was a different generation of board members.
Totally.
Yeah. So I wonder what that was like. I wonder if they got dressed up. I mean, Ron is wearing a jacket and tie, really, for a karate tournament board meeting. You guys are getting, wearing the jacket and tie. Okay.
Hey, they take it serious, Sal.
They do.
So now we're at Miyagi-Do, and Sam's hitting the bag, and then Daniel has one All Valley letter. Mm-hmm. And so I love that All Valley doesn't send out emails. It's got to be this like snail mail letter.
I would imagine they would like burn the edges and like put one of those wax stamps on it.
My gosh. And that really does remind me of the Karate Kid Part 3. I think he had that letter run around Miyagi-Do and showing Mr. Miyagi, who was not interested. Also at Miyagi's little trees. I think he had,
in the trees, yes.
He always had that letter with him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was a big thing. You have to sign it. Yeah, you got to sign it. You got to sign it.
Can't forge this. You got to sign it. And then later in the movie, he didn't even matter. He just was in it. No signature. So not from Miyagi anyway. We find out, Sal, that there is a skills competition, katas, board breaking, weapons display, girls division. It only took 51 years to change, Sal. Mm-hmm. Incredible.
Well, they're a little behind the times, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, and I also should mention there's 2 All Valley champs now with the new division. So that's huge. It's a game changer.
That to me is the most huge thing. I mean, besides the katas, the board break, and the weapons display, a male and a female winner. That's huge.
Yeah. Well, just think about this from the All Valley standpoint. You need the arena longer, right? Entries, you have more time, more refs, more hardware to give out. They just kind of took this, tournament, All Valley Championship, and just times 4. It's just a much bigger thing now. And I could understand why they deliberated so long now.
Well, yeah, this is a big thing. Just like when, once upon a time in the UFC, the Ultimate Fighting Championship, there were no female fighters. Really? Even Dana White, UFC president, one day he was on record saying there'll never be female fighters in the UFC. Wow. The president of the UFC said that. Well, eventually he has mud in his face and dollars in his pocket. But having male champions and female champions, it's a huge. Of course, it all started with Ronda Rousey, and now we've got a whole slew of other female champs nowadays. Yeah. So that's a big thing.
Well, what does Daniel say, right? Because he's got the letter very proudly. And what does he say right away?
Well, because Chris asks about the tournament itself. And that's when Daniel says there's a grand champion trophy for whichever dojo wins the most points. So even though there's a male winner, a female winner, or a boys winner, a girls winner, it will be a grand champion winning dojo. Yeah. And I should have said that how is it applicable to the Cobra Kai, handshake deal, the bet of the valley? Because that's how, because he was excited the fact that there's kata's board breaking weapons display in girls division. He's excited by this notion, but how is it gonna, who's going to be the winner in the Cobra Kai, Miyagi-Do, Eagle Fang, sphere? And it's by points. Wow.
And so interesting. that alone, that's a game changer. So, and it's interesting that Chris immediately is like, looks around. He's like, hang on a second. We're better with Miguel and Hawk.
Yeah.
True. And Dimitri is like, hey, we're all kind of like Rudies, referencing a great movie. Love this movie, the 1993 Sean Astin movie, which, by the way, I referenced recently on Let's Talk Movies when I did a review of American Underdog. So check that out, all of our fans out there.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I heard it myself.
Oh, good. Yeah. Well, you're a fan, Sal, and you're on the show, and you're a fan when you're not on the show.
I listen to Just Curious Media content. I say that publicly.
But then Dimitri also is like, and we'd also be good with this other guy, rhymes with Dobby.
Yes.
Dimitri's the best.
Well, he's being honest. He's truthful.
Yeah, he knows. He's looking around. They see the score. Like Miguel and Hawk are great fighters. They've actually gone further in this tournament in the past. So we need those guys. But Daniel thinks this is the best thing that ever happened to them.
Well, it's not just about fighting. I guess that Daniel doesn't. Well, okay. So since he says this is the best thing that's ever happened, his implication is that to have a tournament just based on fighting alone, he didn't like. He likes this new method. He likes that they're going to have the katas. He likes that they're going to have the forms. He likes that.
He also has Samantha.
And he thinks he has the female winner in his own dojo.
LaRusso 2.0.
He's pretty confident about that. He is.
So now we're at the Eagle Fang dojo / warehouse. And Sal, I love the huge Eagle Fang logo on the wall. Like, bam, Johnny's got it going on there. I mean, they're still in a warehouse, but it looks the part now. I do like that. And then Johnny has the letter. So these snail mail letters have all gotten to the guys around the same time. The dojo.
It's been about a week after the board meeting, I would imagine, roughly.
Yeah. But he thinks it's the worst thing that could have happened to them.
Because he doesn't care about all that stuff.
No.
All he wants to do is get in there and fight, just like the old days, right? But no, they're making some changes. They're trying to relate to the youth, is what they're doing.
And why don't you take what Johnny has to say? I think I initially was going to do it, but it's for you, actually. So why don't you take that great dialogue that he put on his students?
Johnny says, skills competition? Bullshit. Kata isn't karate. It's dancing. What's this crap about a girls division? Thought they were all about women's lib. They ought to man up and take a punch like the rest of us. Johnny.
Says it like it isn't. That guy.
Wow.
So that's what he thinks. He's not into this, and he doesn't even have a female fighter at this point in time. And besides Miguel, he doesn't have a lot. The depth just went away. So sometimes the overreacting, the splitting the dojo, Sal, was not the best decision
for Eagle Fang and Miyagi-Do.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
For Cobra Kai, it's fantastic.
Well, yeah, because with Cobra Kai, then you have the divide and conquer. Once you split up the two dojos, then yeah, what is it? A house divided will not stand, right?
Yep. That's exactly right. And so this is a dilemma. They do not have a female. There's no doubt about it. And so Miguel mentioned Sam, like, hey, let's bridge that gap. Let's get back together. Let's become a union. And Johnny will not even speak to Daniel.
No, he's on the outs. They're both on the outs, right? Daniel doesn't want to speak to Johnny right now.
Either, no, it works both ways. No,
yeah. Not good. I'm telling you, there's a lot of disappointing things here.
Yep. So now we're at the Cobra Kai Dojo, and Silver has the All Valley letter, thinks it's perfect, Sal, and he's already learned of the Daniel Johnny split, which was interesting, and then he goes a little biblical.
He does. Because who else went biblical last time? Was it last episode?
Sam, I thought.
Sam went biblical?
I thought so.
I forgot. It was something
all biblical. These episodes are now that we're in the notes phase and rewatching, it's like I am like living in like little mini movies. So it's bleeding together a little too much at this point in time.
Yeah, but they are all going biblical at this point.
And what does he have to say?
Terry Silver says, manna from heaven, baby. So it's like a gift. He considers this like a gift on his lap.
This is amazing. Yeah. We got those guys on the outs, which we just said it weakens both of them. Yep. And they have Tory. Okay. They have her. They have other females probably coming to be determined. And they have they have Robbie. Oh, yeah. I mean, they've got it going on. And they have this, other stuff happening. So Cobra Kai all-time high. If there was a meter, remember last episode, you're like, is there an IMDb meter that you could see the episode? Well, right now, who's tracking? Whose probability to win All Valley? Cobra Kai's is on the uptick, I would say, as of right now.
Yeah. They look like the sure thing at this point.
When I watch a football game, sometimes you look on Yahoo Sports. And sometimes it screens on Yahoo if you are not near your TV, a lot of the NFL games, but there's a probability meter on there. And I really like that. It's like there's a turnover and a really important part of the game, a key moment, and the probability just shifts constantly, So I like that.
Does that affect the Vegas odds and the over and under and all that stuff?
No, those are already set. Like that's all happening pre-game, right? But
those are set numbers.
Yeah, this is just in game showing people who are interested. It's like, that's really interesting. It's like you can go from 40% probability of losing to 75% of winning. A lot much like cards or blackjack. If you watch, what was that Texas Hold'em on TV? They would show those probabilities, but. And then Kreese agrees. Miyagi-Do, Eagle Fang, short on fighters. They're short on fires. They're both getting excited. And Sal, what arrives? In the middle of this meeting, there's a delivery guy, and he's got some huge boxes.
Yeah. And Terry asks him, may I? And he grabs the guy's box cutter.
Yeah.
Opens up these huge boxes. And he says, Cobra Kai is going to be the only destination for karate in the Valley. I want our logo on billboards, on t-shirts. And he's saying this and he's whipping out this gear. It looks like shoe boxes.
Yes, it did.
Right. Yeah. I wanted to see these shoes, man. I wanted him to open up that box, but we don't get to see the shoes yet anyway. He has these shoe boxes. They have the logo, Cobra Kai logo on them.
Yeah.
I'm big time excited to see this stuff. Unfortunately, we do not get to see it. But Kreese and Silver have the bonding moment. And after that, Kreese says, what does Kreese say?
And on the back of both All Valley champions.
Yeah, on the back of the t-shirts. Yep.
Yeah, because he's saying, billboards, t-shirts, and Kreese is on it. Like he's like, now we know his focus. He wants those champs. And then elated, Terry says what?
Now we're talking. So I guess right now there is harmony.
More of a union. Yes.
Right now, which is quite the opposite of Daniel and Johnny right now. So yeah, they are the antithesis of Daniel and Johnny at this moment.
Yeah, with Terry's money, merch flying all over the place, right? And
we don't know his net worth officially.
No,
right?
but come on, it's doing pretty good.
I'm gonna assume he's worth at least a few $100 million, at least, right?
Yeah, it's probably a fair assessment.
That's what I would guess.
But with that money, Sal, and we mentioned this, I even mentioned this recently, you don't need to be the winner of All Valley to go all in and make Cobra Kai this destination dojo. You don't. You just do it. But they got in this handshake agreement to rid one another of of their presence. And so, but again, that's our show, that's our movie. Okay, I get why, but Terry could go big. If you want billboards, hey, guess what? Daniel has billboards all over LaRusso Auto. So just go get some billboards.
Sure. You can go rent a billboard. Any of us could if we have the money.
Yeah. So now we're at Cobra Kai Dojo outside. And Sal, the Reseda Flats restaurant looks like it closed down.
Yeah, I didn't notice that. I forgot what restaurant. There was a kebab restaurant.
Kebab, yeah. And we never went in it unless where did we ever go in it? Or did we see the guy that, what was his name? He manages the Reseda Flats and he had dinner with Daniel.
Yeah, the guy from Borat.
But
yes.
But I don't know if they
Armin.
I know he went to their house for dinner, but they also had they had him at the club. That was at the Encino Country Club. So we've never been in that particular restaurant, and now we never will.
No.
So what you could do if it was Larry David, he'd open up a Spite Dojo, just right there, like the Spite coffee shop, the Latte Larry's. And so now Tory walks up, right, and we meet Auntie Candace. I've never met Auntie Candace. Do you know her, Sal? It's a new one on me.
No, but we're meeting Tory's family, and not that impressive folk.
No, and she wants a handout, Sal, because she knows, I guess it's her sister's, Tory's mother. I'm pretty sure that's the dynamic.
Yes.
And she's also living off her disability.
Yeah, some sort of check.
Some sort of check's coming in. We learned that Tory's brother is named Brandon, and he's 8. And Sal, we also learned Tory's 17. Now we might have known that, but I like to get these numbers because this All Valley. What is the All Valley let fight?
Under 80.
That's right. Now we know. And really, honestly, though, this whole season, I'm having more of a heart for Tory. I mean, this is just tough stuff, even for someone in their 20s, 30s, 40s. She's 17 and she's dealing with this kind of stuff.
So you're like Amanda. You're opening up.
I'm like Amanda.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like when Tory says, "Oh no," the aunt says, "You're a high school dropout and a criminal," and Tory says, "So are you."
Yeah. Oh, okay. Whatever.
I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I?
Exactly. So now we're at West Valley High School, and we're at the fields out in the back of the school. You may recognize these fields that Daniel and Freddie and Johnny and Cobra Kai's all played soccer on in the original Karate Kid.
Wait, what are you saying? These are the same fields, or
no?
No.
In the dream world.
Oh, got it.
No.
The
real fields are the ones that I went to with that school, and I walked my dog, Nico around the back. No, not these. These fields are probably in Georgia somewhere.
Oh my God.
And we see on a sign in the background, though, I like this, all state soccer champs 2015, 2017, regional lacrosse champs 2018. So, hey, West Valley High, props on you. A few championships there.
I like it.
And then this scene, this is no short scene. This sequence goes on, and it's an amazing scene.
It's pretty hilarious. Everybody's getting the wrong idea.
Johnny and Miguel are out to recruit females.
Yeah, under 18 females.
And Johnny says, when I went to this school, the only thing I was better at than karate, and I was pretty good at karate, was talking to chicks. Watch and learn, Diaz. Watch and learn. And so that might work at a bar, but we're at a high school here where Johnny probably shouldn't even be on campus. In fact, when I say probably shouldn't be, he shouldn't be.
I don't think he is legally allowed to be on campus, and nothing against him. No. Any adult just walking onto campus.
Only if maybe they have a child there.
Sure.
So Johnny is just, and he pops up here a lot.
He has, whether it be a dance, putting up flyers at a dance.
Whatever.
Actually, he's always popping up at school with flyers, right? Is what he's doing.
Yeah.
What about that one time he had the little powwow with Eli and the others right there in the little. Was he handing out flyers that day?
I'm pretty sure. Recruiting. He was on the recruitment.
Yeah, he
trail.
was on the recruiting. Yes, he was.
So Sal, while this scene kicks into gear, we hear "Girls, Girls, Girls" by Motley Crue, and that's a very fitting song, although it makes this scene even creepier. Girls, girls.
Yeah. And he's approaching all these girls that are like running track and playing soccer. Right?
Playing soccer. He really comes off like a stalker. And Miguel is like, he's borderline. He knows it looks bad, but he also knows Johnny has a good heart, and that's what he's there for.
Well, he knows the intentions are pure, but he knows how it looks. Sure. But then he cooperates by.
Well, he's his sensei. He's his, role model. He's his, they're very close. And again, he knows what Johnny's after. It's just, it is cringeworthy. I get cringy. And we do also learn the location of Eagle Fang. It's between a pipe supply store and the burned down Chuck E. Cheese, which is hysterical, Sal. And then we see the flyer. Now, unfortunately, it wasn't like episodes in the past when he did the Cobra Kai one that Robbie had, and we had a good visual of the flyer.
Yeah.
Now, there's a lot more stuff going on in this flyer. And it's like, learn to fight, join Eagle Fang Karate. There's a website, Sal, eaglefangkarate.com. I went there, nothing.
Oh,
we should register the domain. Someone already.
No, wait a second. Did it say like parked by GoDaddy or something?
Yeah, no, it wasn't GoDaddy, but nothing happened. So someone might have the domain, but the URL is not active. And then his Twitter handle, and he spells Twitter with 2 D's, not 2 T's.
Oh,
Twitter.
Johnny.
It's Sensei Johnny L. He doesn't even have the law on there. So he doesn't even have his true Twitter handle on the paper. So again, this might be why his followers are stuck at 1.
He's giving people wrong directions to his Twitter.
And then there's a photo of him, and I love how there's a boom pow, like an old Batman cartoon, Adam West, like boom pow, zip zang. Yes. And then there's the Eagle Fang logo. There could be more on there. There is more on there, but it's really covered up, and you don't really get a good representation of it. But I just love it. I love it. He's always got something new. I'm assuming that Miguel makes these or maybe Johnny's gotten better at this whole thing.
I don't think Johnny's making those. It's got to be Miguel or Johnny got somebody else to do it. Yeah. Johnny, I don't think would know how to do that. Hell, I don't even know how to do that, let alone Johnny.
Well, Johnny says some great things or some inappropriate things, but go ahead and give us some of his lines here on the recruitment trail.
I'm just imagining the principal or the counselors or the school security hearing that there's some guy trying to pick up under 18 girls, and then having this boy rub oil on himself on the field.
Unbelievable.
And Johnny says, and the best part is we have a whole stable of hot young dudes like my man Miguel over there. You like what you see? He's not even in the top 5. He's not even in the top 5. We got babes and everything, whatever floats your boat. And I love the girl's response. He's saying this to some teenage girl. She says, I'm asexual. And he says, all right, he's sexual too. Check him out. Total stud. So what do you say? Ready to become an eagle?
Oh my gosh. So good. That's such good writing and great performances. And yeah, he's incredible. I mean, he's a total perv, but it is hilarious because he's oblivious. And Miguel is just like, getting all lubed up, show me the beach ball. Like he's flexing. Oh gosh, it is just priceless.
I love that. I'm asexual. I love that.
And then we see Moon. She comes up when they know her, and they try to recruit her for a hot second. But of course, she's a bit of a pacifist. She's not going to get anything that hurts someone else. She's like a, hippie chick, love everybody.
But wait a second. She agreed for 1 second.
For 1 second until she knew what it was. Hey, if you're going to sell her on the katas, you got her. If you're going to sell her on the fighting, not so much.
For 1 second, Moon was almost a member of Eagle Fang.
Yeah. But then what does she have to say? Who does she tell them to talk to?
She tells Miguel and Johnny to speak to her ex, Piper, who is a great athlete.
Bingo. Okay. Now they're focused, and we don't do that now. We leave finally. Yeah. But I do love when she comes up. There's some perv, chasing the track team around or something. So it's like he's already been identified on campus, but no one's pinned it on him just yet. So now we're at the LaRussos' house. And Sal, I didn't see this coming.
No.
But Tory visits.
Yeah.
And Amanda opens the door and says, oh, so you're knocking this time.
Yeah. She's delivering an Amanda-ism, right? She would have said that to anybody. Tory happens to be the one there.
I totally agree. However, I don't think she would have said this at this point in time after all that she's learned recently in the last few episodes. And you can tell that she's starting to care for Tory. She chases her out at the birthday party where she's going to quit. I just don't think she would have been this aggressive. Maybe earlier this season. I just felt it was a little bit out of place for her at this point in time. Just my opinion.
Well, I'm surprised she invites her in. I mean, she could have just talked to her on the porch, you know. She could have stepped outside, talked to her on the porch. How about gone for a ride? How about that? You know, hey, let's go for a cruise and chat. Instead, she invites her in, which is, you know, very hospitable to do so.
Well, she also realizes Sam's not there. So we find out just yet.
Yeah.
And we learn that Tory, much like in the synopsis of this episode, she needs LaRusso's help for school. She needs someone to kind of vouch for her to get her back in. They'll take, you know, her situation under review, you know, as far as her mother's concerned and all the tough things she's dealing with, but she needs some family to vouch for her, and who better than the LaRussos? And then Amanda wants her to see someone like a therapist, non-karate therapist.
Yes. They don't care if it's the Dalai Lama.
Yeah, exactly. And then who enters, Sal?
Well, we hear Daniel chit-chatting as they walk, and then we see Daniel arriving with Sam. Oh my God, I could not believe this moment. Sam looks into her own kitchen and sees her own mother sitting down with Tory at the kitchen table.
Yeah.
And she is pissed, and she says, what the hell is she doing here?
Yeah, you're breaking bread with the enemy. What is this girl doing here? Oh my gosh. I thought it was going to be a showdown right then and there, like early in season 1 when Johnny and Daniel had that showdown at LaRusso's house. Remember that? Just showed up at his backyard and they were going to go at it. Like I was like, what's going to happen right here?
Mm-hmm. But wait a second. Are we 100% on board with Tory? Is she legit here? Does she have some sort of plan or scheme? Or is she really, you know, humbling herself and asking for legitimate help because she really wants to, you know, improve her life, be better, go back to school, the whole thing? Or is this part of some sort of trick?
So I don't think she's changed too much, but I do think she's genuine in her needs and her seeking help. Not like, hey, I'm all better now and I'm all good, but I'm in over my head. And Amanda has, you know, put a branch out there, an olive branch, and, you know, remember a few times, like, you know, ask for help. You may, you know, be surprised that someone else, you know, is there for you, or, you know, so I think that it's genuine. And it's probably the last place she wants to go, Sal. So it's like very humbling to say, okay, I'll go there. I invaded this very home, you know, not that long ago.
Sure.
So I don't think she's up to, you know, she's not Kreese, not yet.
Not only did she invade the home, but with her two accomplices right behind her, flanking her, she walks in and says, "No mercy." Let's not forget that.
Oh, no, we cannot. We cannot. So now we're at Eli ex-Hawk's house, I'll say. Oh. And he's playing computer games, and Dimitri arrives because he lets himself in, Sal, because he's found the key underneath the old, flower gnome. And he's there to recruit Eli because Eli's kind of just tapped out.
Yeah.
We all saw what happened to him.
Sure. And he was humiliated,
came and confronted everybody, talked to everybody, but has just been in hiding.
Also, the whole Samson, to get biblical on you.
Yeah, Jason, there you go.
Samson, the Bible story, that he gets his hair cut off and his strength goes with the hair. So maybe there's some of that here with Eli. And by the way, this is a nice place. What is this, like a basement apartment?
This is just a basement, like a game room. Like
it looks great. Looks like a great place for a teenage group, a couple teens to hang out and play video games.
Well, we've been at Eli's house before in season 1 when his mother was on the phone and Eli went to his room. But the basement,
you know what? This is a nicer place than was in that scene.
When
they was speaking to the
show
counselor.
Has evolved, and now it's like, their house is huge, and we're going to see this area now. I haven't seen the mom in a while, but definitely, nice place. But then Dimitri, like he always does, has such great lines. Like I always say, him and Amanda. But what does he have to say?
I mean, Mr. LaRusso says anyone can be the hero, but I'm not Batman. I'm more like Alfred. You're Batman. Oh, right. I forgot. You're not a DC guy. Whatever. Forget Batman. You're the Hawk. And the Hawk is Marvel, right?
I believe so. Well, I mean, is he?
Yeah. Well, there used to be a hero, I think, Hawkman. I think there was Hawkman. I think that's Marvel. Then we got a Hawkeye from the Avengers, also Marvel.
Yeah, I was thinking of Hawkeye. I think he's just, advocating to him and what he likes. Like, you're the Hawk, and
like you're the hero.
You're definitely not a DC guy. I think that's his what his meaning. But really, Hawk's not holding out for either dojo. Like, this is really news to Dimitri. He's like, no, it's not. I'm not coming back to Miyagi-Do or Eagle Fang. I'm just not coming back to karate. I'm quitting karate.
Yeah.
And that's like, whoa, okay.
Yeah, sad because I'm a fan. I really enjoy seeing Hawk do karate. I'm a big fan. So that was very sad to hear. Also very touching to see Dimitri try to appeal to him. He says, I don't care if you have a mohawk or a mullet or pigtails. He's letting him know that, listen, I'm your friend. I'm with you. It doesn't matter what happens. So yeah, very touching scene with one friend trying to appeal to the other. But yeah, unfortunately, Eli is too much on the down and out.
Also, when you have a persona like this and the persona is taken away, I'm sure wrestlers might deal with this. It's like, oh, what am I now? And he's probably just trying to figure that out. And he needs his best friend, Dimitri, to come over and kind of cheer him up a little bit. So we actually come back to this scene. So we leave now to only come back shortly. But now we're back at the West Valley High School. And this time we're in the gym, Sal. And Johnny and Miguel still there, still recruiting. And they're watching gymnasts. And this is hilarious. A parent approaches Johnny. And Sal, he gives the wrong impression.
Yeah, because what does the guy say? Like, which one's yours? Like implying like which one's your daughter?
Exactly.
And what does Johnny say? Like something like, oh, that one looks good right over there.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to say yet, though. And that guy immediately is like, but Johnny is he's just oblivious to that. He really is just like that guy's there to pick up someone for a dojo. No, of course, that's going to be perceived as like perv. And I'm surprised that guy didn't go off and tell a security guard or the principal and like, get this guy out of here or get slugged. Of course, then you're fighting with Johnny Lawrence, but but hilarious. It comes off really funny. And then we see Piper. We've met Piper before.
Yes.
Now we, see her and they come over and they kind of have an exchange because Miguel knows her from school. And I got to say, so I was really impressed with his recruiting skills in this scene.
Oh, I loved it. I loved it. I loved how much he learned, the phraseology that he uses.
Exactly.
It was great. And then she asks about, what does he say? Non-binary and gender fluid students.
Yep.
And then Johnny says, oh, yeah, fluids are crucial.
Yeah. And then, of course, it's a joke, but he doesn't even get it. But Miguel's there to save the day. And he's funny. Yeah. It's great.
That was great. And by the way, I think that was really Piper doing those flips. I don't think that was a stunt person.
Yeah, no.
I think it was her.
Yeah, I think it was. Hey, she's the best athlete in school, man. Come on.
Yeah, she did great.
Well, not only that, Sal, Piper's in.
Yeah.
She's going to sign up. And Miguel is shocked and elated. And Sal, I got to say, Piper's words should also motivate you.
I know.
You want to say it or do you want me to say it?
Yeah, sure. Piper says, I don't want to be the last person in the valley that doesn't know karate. Hello, like me.
Sal Rodriguez, you were born and raised in the valley. And you know the Karate Kid inside and out. You're on a show. Let's talk Cobra Kai. You got to learn karate.
I do. I need to join a dojo.
Yeah,
I do.
I think so.
But should I join a good dojo or an evil dojo?
I don't know. Be like Cayman and go to the bad one first. Robert Cayman. Have that experience and then come over to the good.
I'll do it.
So now we're at LaRusso's house again, and a lot of back and forth this episode. We start a storyline, we go back and follow up on it. And Sam is basically exploding. Now they're not around Tory at this point in time. It's just Daniel and Amanda. And she is letting them have it, and she's been scared and she's learned a lot through Eagle Fang and she really wants to study with Johnny. And why in the heck are they trusting Tory? I mean, here's your enemy, your arch rival. And they're like, and their parents are letting them in, and say, oh no, here's what she has to say. And she's livid, Sal.
Yeah. Well, because this is, inviting someone into your home, that's a big deal. It's one thing. It's one thing if a man is like, oh, I'm going to go meet Tory at the school or I'm going to go meet her mom or, that's one thing. But to invite them into your home and quote unquote, break bread, that's a big thing. Sam is livid and I almost don't blame her.
Yeah, no, I agree. And hang on. Sorry. My notes flew off the screen there for a second.
So she just bolts out then.
Yeah, Sam's
leaving Amanda and
she's
Daniel
out.
There.
And then Amanda begins to share her past. And
I said this before when she was taking a liking to Tory. I said maybe there's something about Amanda. Why does she relate to Tory? What's going on here? I called it.
You did. And we don't know these things. And she shares about getting arrested.
Wow.
How she had a baseball bat and took it to her math tutor's car. And immediately you're thinking, guy math tutor? No.
Oh.
Female math tutor who was having an affair with her dad.
Yeah.
Wow. She has a streak, and she stood up for herself and got herself in trouble. And Sal, you are absolutely right. I mean, we don't know any more than that, but it's nice to know some history of Amanda.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's some serious stuff. Let you know what kind of person she is and what she's capable of.
Yeah. And we learned about her parents, because I've asked that too. Like, we don't know about her parents. Sometimes Anthony was with her parents. It's like, we don't know them. Now we know it. Now we know they're not together because they still got a divorce. This car bashing didn't help. And we learned that she was charged with a misdemeanor reckless endangerment. Sal, that could be on That's a Crime.
It could be on That's a Crime. And you know what? It also an example where, particularly if you're a minor, particularly if it's a first offense, they'll reduce the charges.
Right.
They'll kind of give you a little more of a slap on the wrist. Something that could be a felony, they'll drop to a misdemeanor. They do that a lot. When I was a kid, my mother used to say, you better enjoy getting in trouble as a juvenile, because once you're an adult, the law will throw the book at you. And she was absolutely right. So yeah, I kind of went nuts as a teen myself, but yeah, luckily it's all behind you once you hit your 20s, hopefully.
Well, that was a rough scene, touching scene, well acted. Daniel takes it in, and he's like, and I'm also surprised that it never came up, but she kept it. She kept this.
Yeah.
Deep.
He said she says it's not exactly a first date story.
Or an any date story.
And I'm loving the actor, Ralphmacchio. I'm loving his reactions.
Yeah.
His reactions to Amanda's monologue are fantastic.
It's fantastic. Absolutely. And how she also goes on to say that helping Tory will break a pattern. It's a wake-up call for her. And Daniel, like it switches, like he understands now what she's doing and why she's working with Tory. But the light bulb goes off, and I don't know if you already knew what he was going with that, but it just resonated with Daniel, washed over his face, and he's like, I'm on board and I got to go fix something else. Like Daniel
I didn't catch that. I didn't catch that. You read that basically.
Well, he also said it, but I wasn't sure. No, I wasn't exactly sure, because there's the Johnny thing, there's the Robbie, there's lots of things, there's the Crease thing or Silver, but I knew that he was then motivated to go deal with something else. And, it's Daniel's way.
Wow.
And
you're good. You're intuitive.
I study. So I study these things. I'm a documentary filmmaker. I study people.
You do. You read people.
So now we're back at Eli's house. And Dimitri won't let Eli quit. I'm calling him Eli now, because now we've just crossed over. So,
what do you think? He's going to get his tattoo removed now, or another tattoo over it?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Well, to be determined on that front. I'm not sure. Rico, fix this thing.
Yeah,
fix this thing.
Turn it into something else. Turn it into some
sort of moon.
Geeky thing.
Moon's back in the picture. That's a big crescent moon.
I know what he's going to tattoo over the hawk. We're going to see in a second what he can tattoo over it.
Okay. But what does he share? What does Dimitri share in this, just don't quit kind of motivation? Dimitri shares more about himself.
Dimitri says, I was perfectly happy playing Dungeon Lord after school, but you put me in a situation where I had to join a dojo. And you know what? It was the best thing that ever happened to me. Wow. Dimitri is into karate right now.
And Sal, that's more motivation for you.
If Dimitri can do it, I can do it.
Well, then he scoots.
Of course, I don't have the reach that Dimitri has.
You don't have to get in sparring matches anymore.
I gotta, as they call, fight in a phone booth is what they call.
There you go. Yeah. Well, he scoots over on the couch and he begins to show Eli these videos that they did back in the day, and it's called the Binary Brothers.
Yeah.
Dimitri and Eli, and this is their theme song. Now they had 15,000 views, so that's something.
That's pretty good.
And they made these 2 years ago. So, they're still in high school, but they were like young, just like freshmen, sophomore. And tell me tell me their code name, Sal.
Eli's code name is The One. That's THE and then numeral 1.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Or is it 1 or a 0?
No, it's what's that?
Eli's code name is the 1, right?
Yes, yeah. And Dimitri's?
And Dimitri's code name 0. And that's where I didn't know if the ZERO, it looks like an O, or is it a 0?
It's a 0. It's like it's a binary.
Okay, ZERO,
zeros and ones.
It's an actual.
Yeah, very clever. Yeah, you threw me off on the way you put that together, but
no, because I went the other way around. Yeah.
0, 1, and I love it. Binary numbers. 1 or 0 will be your hero comes up, and their amazing chorus. It's quite funny.
Wait a second. I'm sorry, Jason.
Yeah.
What's a binary number?
0 and 1.
How do you know this?
It's just I love
Are you
computers.
a nerd?
I'm a nerd. Don't ask me my code name, Sal. Do not do that. So they're going on and on about this crazy stuff, and it's shot just like an SNL skit or The Lonely Island. They did a bunch of these videos who are also on SNL, Sandberg and his two buddies. And then of course there's Laser Cats, which was a constant skit on SNL.
The laser coming out of the cat eyes. I love that. And also, I think in the origin probably an homage to Devo at their.
Oh yeah, Devo, but it's more of it's definitely coming out of this SNL Lonely Island. That's what it's emulated after, but that is definitely spawning from Devo. Sure, let's go there.
I gotta check this out.
And then Dimitri connects with Eli, and it's touching, and it works because he shows him this. He explains just how tight they are, their bond, and Eli's just in the dumps, man, and a teenager going through this. Yeah. Sure. They tend to kind of waller in it for a while, but hey, he's got Moon that's back in play. He's got a dojo that cares about him, and this was a wonderful scene.
Yeah, and we're assuming that his mother is somewhere around, probably caring about
making him
too,
snacks upstairs.
Yeah, so he's got some supportive people in his life. He's not alone.
No. These are good problems to have, right?
Yeah.
Look at Tory's problems. So, you got your head shaved. I get it. It's a bullying tactic, but you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
And not even your head shaved, just your mohawk. You're not.
Yes, because he still has hair.
He still has hair. Perfect.
Must be nice. Be nice, Jacob.
Sorry, Sal. So now we're back at the Reseda Flats, and Robbie visits the convenience store. And always love scenes in the store, Sal. Always. But who enters?
Robbie's in there.
Yeah,
looking around.
Who enters after Robbie's in?
Yeah. So Robbie's in there, and then Daniel enters. I did not see that coming, but ting! You did.
Well, no, I thought he was going somewhere. So when I heard that ting, then I knew that's where he's going. Okay. Funny how he catches him there, right? You go down to the Cobra Kai Dojo. Oh, Robbie just went in the convenience store. Okay, I love how they just catch people like going in, but then
continue. Robbie thinks that Daniel's there to try to recruit him, try to rescue him, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
this is a great scene, by the way.
Because this is Daniel really being very serious.
Yes.
He takes Terry Silver very seriously. Obviously he should. And he wants to let Robbie know, basically give him a warning.
Yeah.
He says, I'm here to tell you what's going to happen to you next. Terry Silver just popped up out of the blue, right? He did the same thing to me. He'll seem decent enough, show you a few moves, and then he'll worm his way in, chip away at you, and push you past your limits. You'll become stronger than you thought possible. But Silver won't stop there, okay? This man is sick and twisted, and when he's done with you, you won't be you anymore. One day you'll find yourself with some poor kid's blood all over your shirt, and you'll just hope it's not too late to change course. Hello, Karate Kid 3.
Karate Kid 3. That was Rudy, not connected to Dimitri's reference, but Rudy was at the club that Silver had him go attack. Remember that whole sequence?
Was that the guy's name?
Yeah, in the movie, Rudy. He went up to him and they had that exchange. And so he paid the guy to confront Daniel. And then Daniel did what he did, blood on his hands. Now that was played by actor Gabriel Jarrett, who was in Real Genius, 1985, great movie with Val Kilmer. He was kind of one of the main guys, but I was like, oh my gosh. So absolutely. Definitely a callback to Karate Kid 3.
Wait, do you think he'll be in season 5?
I don't know. He was only that one bit, but hey, bring him in. Get Rudy in there. We're gonna get Mike Barnes and Rudy, and why not? But Sal, it's just like a nightmare in a nightmare, like American Werewolf in London. We hear the ching again, very faintly. You're not. Maybe we think it's a normal customer.
Yeah,
not to be, Sal. Who enters this time?
No. And then he's standing behind Daniel. Yeah. We see Terry Silver, right? At first, he's kind of blurry until the camera doesn't focus on him right away. But I think we know who it is, even though he's a little blurry.
And he's there watching, and he just assumes Daniel's there to poach his students.
Yeah.
Or student, definitely Robbie in this matter. And then he kind of tells Daniel, well, Robbie exits and he tells Daniel, hey, you were really hot-headed and, I just had to wind you up. He's just, he knows how to play Daniel.
Yeah. Yeah. He didn't have to do much to inspire him. Yeah.
And then he says something that, this is an incredible line. And it's just, I don't even know how to take it. I'm just in awe, but he's like, you just don't want to admit there's always been a little Cobra Kai in you. Ooh. And Daniel's almost like, it was almost like he got too close to the sun. Maybe there was something in there just a little bit because Daniel is a hothead, mind you. And he was being motivated. Miyagi didn't want anything to do with him. And he thought, my training's going well and I'm becoming a badass. So, there was something there. He was getting hurt a lot. He was coming home just, completely swollen arm or knuckles or feet. And Miyagi kind of convinced him to to get away from that methodology. But anyway, I just love that sequence. And then of course, what does Nestor have to say?
That's the clerk. That's the guy that
we've seen Nestor a lot. In fact, when he comes in, Robbie comes in, they're like, high five and handshake.
And what does Nestor say? He says something like, hey, if you're going to use this as a conference room, you need to buy something. He says that to Terry, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And then Terry just turns around and gives him a look. And then Nestor's like, oh, it's
hey, no, it's all good.
It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, but that was a great sequence. What Daniel laid on the line and shared with Robbie, all true. And Silver this isn't the same Silver that was apologizing at Miyagi-Do-Dojo just the other day, right?
No.
Just
in an
this
episode
is
the real Terry Silver.
This
that guy apologizing.
Reals. Yeah.
Right. Who was that? That wasn't real, right? Wasn't really trying to apologize.
He was still in that haze, that mindfulness haze. This is Terry Silver. No, when he was apologizing. Now he's like back to normal.
Okay. Normal, quote unquote.
Poking the bear, poking with Daniel, calling, knowing Daniel's not going to start a fight with him, but just like, calling it like it is.
But Jason, it does bring to mind, and I guess I never really thought of it this specifically, was Daniel suffered at the hands of the tutelage, I would say, of Terry Silver in Karate Kid 3. But in the end, he did beat Mike Barnes. Is it possible that he would not have beat Mike Barnes were it not for training with Terry Silver and Cobra Kai? Is that possible?
It's so funny. During this sequence, that's what I was thinking about. I thought for sure that Silver was going to say, and you won All Valley. I really thought he could have laid that out there.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like him and Miyagi went on this long montage of training again, right? He just took him in. All of a sudden, Miyagi's at the All Valley in his corner and gave him the advice to get him off. Of course, Miyagi did what he had to do, but it wasn't like
it's okay to lose to opponent. It's not okay to lose to fear.
Exactly. And he needed that, but he trained at Cobra Kai Dojo and trained a lot. So I thought not the second time I watched it, of course, but the first time I was like, he could throw that in there in his face. Yeah. And then Daniel had been like, oh, I did win all that. It's like throw him for a loop.
Wow.
But very good point. And so that's it for the convenience store for this episode, I got to say, but great usage of space.
I do miss Armin though. I want to see Armin again.
Oh, I know.
I hope they bring back Armin in season 5.
Yeah. And his nephews.
Yeah. How about those guys?
And so now we're back at Eagle Fang and Piper's a no-show, Sal, because there's another dojo in the valley with merch.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they see her Instagram feed. It might even be a live story, but she's got the merch and everyone's excited. And again, we couldn't even tell what it is, but there's lots of merch going around, a lot of stuff, a lot of gear.
It's those shoe boxes again. I want to see those. And she says, can't wait to kick ass with Team Cobra Kai. Yeah. So she's totally kai'd out already. All she needed was some merch.
Doesn't even let them know. Doesn't even tell them I'm not joining.
I'm not going to make it.
Who got to her, Sal? Who got to her?
Tory, I guess.
But who's at school? How many Cobra Kais are running around school? Robbie's not there.
I don't know.
Interesting though, huh? Randoms.
They sent her a coupon code, and she just got the shoes.
So Johnny is upset. Miguel, though, starts to motivate him and shares, hey, I wasn't a champ when you found me, Johnny, and you turned me into the champ. So
true.
He needed to hear that, because again, it's funny how this show is like, hey, let me pick you up real fast, Eli. You don't want to quit karate. Hey, Johnny, no. We can't just go find a champion. We got to go build one, probably.
Yeah.
And it's great. And this leads to, Sal, what type of thinking does everyone need to do?
Outside the box.
Outside the box. But Sal, I think Johnny's unclear on what that means.
He doesn't know the expression, I guess. He's thinking like literally there's a box and you have to think outside of it.
I don't get this at all. Really funny. And a great scene. I love to see when, the student helps the teacher, teaches the teacher, I love it. And it was a great moment. Anytime they bond, I love it.
Yeah.
And now we see Samantha driving a beautiful car, and we don't know where she's going, Sal. I mean, listen, I can call some things. I did not see this coming.
No. There was a foreshadow, but we didn't realize it at the time.
There was a foreshadow.
Yeah.
So she's driving along, and she pulls up to whose house in Santa Barbara?
I did not see this coming either. Samantha arrives at Aisha's house.
Wow.
And then as a viewer, not as a co-host of Let's Talk Cobra Kai, as a viewer, I'm going, there's Aisha. Where has she been this whole time?
Totally.
Why wasn't she in season 3? Now she makes a cameo in season 4. I'm very happy to see her. But so are we then to believe that the showrunners just kind of intentionally removed her from the show just to pop her back in for this little scene?
No idea. I mean, there was rumors of one of Will Smith's children coming on the show.
Yes.
And so I do not pay attention to that type of thing.
Okay.
I don't.
All right.
I know
there's a lot of speculation.
but this show is big on, well, not big on it, but we lose Kyler first season and then he's back and now he's bigger than ever. So when you say cameo, I see this episode because we're going episode by episode.
Yes.
I don't know if Aisha's back, but there she is in the flesh, and I'm super happy to see her. I always loved Aisha's character.
I'm very happy to see her and very surprised to see her.
And we find out that her father, Isaiah Robinson, Hall of Famer, by the way, in the NFL, linebacker for the Chargers, he played in San Diego, but of course they're now in Los Angeles, but he got a job for UCSB. Now, I don't know if he's a football coach or administrator or athletic director. We don't know, but they are now in Santa Barbara. Yeah. But Sal, what I have to say is, Sam's learning all this as we are. I'm shocked that they never text or spoke. That's how did you not know this information? But
yeah, exactly. It's not like they weren't able to communicate as any of us would in 2022. And by the way, just for the person who doesn't know a lay of the land, Santa Barbara up the 101 freeway is about a good 90 miles.
It's an hour and a half, 2 hours
north of Los Angeles.
Yeah. If you're in LA further east, it's a long. If you're in Pasadena, it could be a couple hours. When I lived in the Valley, I could get to Santa Barbara in an hour.
Yeah.
So beautiful. I love Santa Barbara and the San Ynez Valley and all of that.
It's a destination.
I also love Aisha's advice that she shares with Sam. It's really great and poignant. It's about how she goes to this new school and also can read people and sees potentially her new bully. And what does she do, Sal?
She wins over her new potential bully by complimenting her shoes.
Yeah, didn't even like him, but figured it'd be the right thing to say.
Yeah, and now they're besties. But she makes it a point to tell Sam, my new school bestie, you're my OG bestie. So Sam and Aisha go way back. But yeah, she tells Sam how she won over her potential bully, and she used the phrase, striking first.
Yes.
Right. So that was Aisha's way of striking first in a positive way.
Yep.
And so we think, now maybe she's inspired Sam to do something similar. Maybe she'll strike first in some positive way too.
And she set her own terms, and she told Sam, you got to do that as well. Set your own terms, and how much she's learned so much from Sensei Lawrence.
Yeah.
It changed her life. And it's like, wow, I loved hearing that. I love Johnny getting some credit.
Yeah.
The credit's due.
Yep.
Striking first isn't necessarily coming up and punching Sal Rodriguez in the nose. It might be me, doing something uncomfortable and introducing myself. It's whatever it is. It's acting, and I love that.
True.
I like
making the first move. You can use that expression, striking first or making the first move, across any arena.
Anything.
Yeah.
I struck first when I asked you to be a co-host on this show.
You did.
Now, you know what, you weren't going to contact me on that.
No, you know what, Jason? I'm proud of you.
Hey, man. Thanks, bro. So I showed no mercy as well.
You did.
So now we're back at West Valley High School. And now this time's out. It's the debate club.
Yes. And of course. And by the way, I love this 3-shot.
Oh, it's
Daniel, great. Miguel, and Bert.
Johnny.
What?
Not
that was Johnny. It wasn't Daniel. You're right.
But,
okay, we got Johnny, Miguel, and Bert in a 3-shot.
It's wonderful.
I'm loving it.
Yeah. Basically, Johnny's spending the whole day at school. That's what he's doing. And so his outside of the box thinking, we're about to get there, but he comes up and he has this idea, because this idea probably hit him in the shower or having a Coors banquet, but he wants to recreate Ladybugs, the 1992 Rodney Dangerfield movie, which I got to say also starred Jonathan Brandis, who, rest in peace, died at the young age of 27 of a suicide. So I didn't mean to be a downer, but that's the facts. I remember seeing this movie many, many years ago, but he's left us. But funny movie. And why don't you give us the quick premise so we can understand the ruse that Johnny was up to here?
Well, now that they have a female champion, Johnny wants somebody to dress up as a girl.
Exactly. Wear a wig and just kind of act. I mean, even in the movie Ladybugs, Jonathan, I forget his character's name, didn't really look like a girl. Yeah. He just had a wig on and spoke in a higher, voice. Now he's a teenager and they're all wearing soccer jerseys. So he just pretended to be a girl. It wasn't like elaborate like Tootsie.
It wasn't like Tootsie or Mrs. Doubtfire.
No. So it was like, he's thinking, got a wig here. That's what we'll do. And Miguel's thinking it's him, but no. Miguel's too valuable. He's too good of a fighter. Yeah. He's thinking about Mitch, also known as
penis.
Exactly. So this is his outside the box thinking, and they're just God. Even Bert doesn't say anything, but you can just see it on.
No, he's got some great reactions. You can tell that he's about to say something. But he doesn't say anything.
He doesn't have to say anything. Miguel is just like, Miguel is just a little disappointed, like, I don't know. But then, saved by the day, saved by the bell, what happens?
I love this. I love what this scene represents because, we're looking for a new female karate. Let's go look into the world of athletics, right? That's exactly what you think. So there you are recruiting on the fields. And remember last time they were recruiting on, was it Crease recruiting on the basketball court and all that? So you're going to look that way. But I like the idea of looking where you wouldn't have looked otherwise.
Yeah.
Now, you would not look for your new female karate student to be on the debate team.
No.
And yet there she is on the stage in the middle of her debate. They're having a serious debate about the death penalty.
Yeah. And Devin, she kills it. And she goes no mercy on the stage. She walks over to the other podium, the opposing debater's podium, rips a book, and she's showing no mercy on stage. No. And they're just like in awe. And then, by the way, this was the person that Bert tried to tell Johnny about, but he dismissed it.
There you go. Bert thinks outside the box.
He can recruit too. And then Johnny says, I just found the most badass girl in the valley.
Nice. Because you know why? Because you know why? It's not just about being athletic or strong. It's not just about that. You know what it is? No. It's the desire to win.
That's what she's got.
Yes.
She's got it.
That is huge.
So now we're back at Miyagi-Do. And he's blasting crowd noise, kind of, they do this at football arenas too. They this is going to be a full all valley immersion practice. You get used to being on stage because
it's almost like a rehearsal.
Yes. And a lot of football teams practice with, piped in noise. So they couldn't hear the calls. You got to get used to that temperament, how you're going to react to that. It's really smart.
When I was doing stand-up comedy, the thing you had to look out for, I forgot what they called it, but there was this moment at a comedy club when everyone pays their bill. Like all of a sudden, the whole room is paying their bill and you're up there. The first time I ever dealt with that, I was like, what the hell is going on? I didn't know what to do. You learn. You learn how to
ebb and flow with it.
There you go. It takes time and it takes experience.
Yeah, you better check your bill again. Just call people out, little things.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. But you could also practice this out and like just pipe in like crowd heckles. Hey, you suck.
That helps you.
And dealing with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
It helps you.
Well, this is great. They're all, and not only that, it's a full dress rehearsal. They all have gis on, the full bit. And he brings Dimitri up first and they're sparring and doing very well. And Dimitri, actually, I got to say, he's come so far.
Yes, I'm digging that kick. He does a great kick.
Like a spinning back kick. And Daniel blocks it and then gets a shot on him. But it's like, he is impressed by Dimitri. And Dimitri's long and lanky, like you just talked about, his reach, right?
Sure.
So he could be dangerous. And then Sal, who arrives.
Well, wait, is this before or after Daniel goes inside to grab the gi? Oh, no, he doesn't grab the gi yet. Okay, wait, take it back.
Why is he getting
a second? Why is he getting the gi? Because a surprise guest arrives in the form of Eli.
Yes.
Here he is. Oh, so good to see him. So he arrives. Everybody gives him the hero's welcome.
Yeah.
Everybody's happy to see him. And
they don't know what to call him, though. They don't know what to call him.
No. What's his name? I guess just
Eli. Are you Hawk? You just tell us.
Eli,
you just tell us.
So then Daniel gets excited, and then that's when he goes inside.
Yes.
Into the indoor dojo to grab a gi, and that's when he runs into Sam as she's there stretching her hamstrings on the floor.
Yeah, she's letting the guys do their thing, and she's in there stretching while Daniel's going through this whole drill. Sure. And by the way, I got to say, I love what Eli says. He's there to help the team, and that was like. Being such an athlete and team oriented person I am, I just love that it is about team. So that's wonderful. So he's in there talking to Samantha and Sal, they both apologize.
And this is where we think that Aisha's pep talk is going to do something positive here. Well, so that's what I'm
might say that it did, but we'll get to that.
Let's put it this way. I'm expecting Sam to now operate in a malevolent fashion. Sorry. Benevolent.
Yeah, benevolent. Yeah.
That's good. Not malevolent, which is bad. So time will tell, but I'm assuming that I'm seeing a halo around Sam right now.
Right. Yeah.
And maybe I'm stupid.
No, not stupid. Hopeful. Yeah. So, and they're all smiles. I love this. And then Daniel's proud of Sam for being the bigger person. Right. Yeah. So that we end on that note, like you said. So we all think like, okay, great. Well, here comes the finale of the episode, and we're at West Valley High School again. We've been here a lot this episode, but it's the next day. It's not the same day, and Johnny's not there. And Tory enters, and she's getting searched by the guard security. Now there's a lot of security at this school.
Yeah, metal detectors, all that.
And she's scanning the crowd. It's that first time back. We've seen this like with Miguel and Sam. Anybody who hasn't been there for a while and you come back, and it's just like a lot to take in, right?
Yeah. But she didn't get the same welcome Miguel got, though.
She sure did. Miguel. Hey, champ! Yeah. No, not the same. But she scans the crowd. It's a really great scene because you're kind of scanning her POV, and then boom, there's Sam right in her face, right? Yeah. And what happens?
Okay, so right here is where I'm thinking, well, I guess there's going to be some olive branch, the whole thing. No. So Tory says to Sam, what does she say to Sam?
Well, go ahead.
We'll switch it.
No. Take it both, please.
Okay. So Tory says to Sam, I heard you let me back in, LaRusso. So I guess I should. And you think she's going to say, I guess I should apologize?
Right. And she's she's being very genuine.
Okay. There you go. Say. So at this juncture, high hopes. Sam,
let's hug it out.
Sam claps back. I don't care what game you're playing, but I'm not scared of you. You're not in control here. I am. My parents might fall for your bullshit, but if you so much as look at me funny, I will kick your ass for a third time. I'm coming for you, bitch. Wow. Oh my God.
So she took it the other way, Sal. She took it the other way.
Well, she strike first. Yeah. Oh my God. I cannot believe what I'm seeing here. Sam, who are you?
She had to face her own fears.
Wow.
And she just put it all on the line. And you know what? She had to do it for herself, really.
Then I'm coming for you, bitch line. Holy cow,
that was a bit on top. That was the whole, strike first, no mercy. That was everything. The whole,
when Tory got the PA, Tory grabbed the PA from that girl in the office.
Oh yeah, it was that. Yep. And who was freaked out by that? Of course, Sam was always like, remember that time at the, what was that? The adjacent to, oh my gosh, what's the name?
Oh, that arcade place?
The arcade, whatever that like kind of shut down the arcade. But yeah,
she started to have PTSD,
hide and thinking, what's going on here? So that whole sequence, she's done that. She's been there. She doesn't want to be that person anymore.
And I don't want her to be that person either, but somewhere there's a happy medium, right? Now she's going like full aggression now,
Yeah, it's that was a lot to take in. And it was interesting though, did Sam really have to sign off on Tory? Because she really mentions her, like, I heard you let me back in. So was it Amanda calls Tory and says, we talked about his family, even Sam's okay with this, Samantha. So it was weird that she referenced that.
Well, what I'm thinking it was is as it relates to the high school is, I guess, the other family. So you have Tory and her family, because when they're juveniles, it involves the families. So you have Tory and her family, you have Sam and her family. The LaRusso family kind of signs off, like they forgive.
Yeah,
Tory
totally.
Right? All right, okay, so Tory is,
but she's making it sound like Sam herself had to do it. That's how I was taking.
She means like the united front of the LaRussos is what I figured. Right. So she needed the LaRusso family to sign off on that whole
Totally.
I mean, everything with the spike bracelets, that whole thing, right?
Everything. Probably if we're okay with Tory being here, then you should be as well. We vouch for her. We have the most to lose. I get all that. I just thought it was funny that she specifically said Sam. But I got to say, much like the decade-long rivalry of Daniel and Johnny, do you think these two are more similar than different?
Well, look, we're seeing a softer side of Tory and a more aggressive side of Sam. So they are balancing each other. No matter what they do, the other one's going to counterbalance, right?
This franchise does stuff like this. Like, Tory's all bad. Hang on a second. She's got, there's justified reasons for her outburst, and Sam hasn't been an angel. We know that now. They're not too far apart is my point.
No, it's true. And you know what? I like how this show always shows no one is all good and no one is all bad.
No, except for Mr. Miyagi.
He's all good.
But he's not on the show.
But hang on a second. Talk to Sato. Was Miyagi all good?
Oh, touche.
Miyagi
stole my wife.
Yeah. So it depends on who you talk to.
Fair enough. I stand corrected. Well, that's it. The end of the episode. Wow. The burn-in, very intense. Oh, and I meant to say this real quick. Maybe use it as an insert, maybe not. But the golf and stuff, I didn't know if that arcade was adjacent or part of when that whole fight scene. We could never really tell unless golf and stuff keeps growing. But
because Chris left that ticket counter.
Yeah, and then he ran off with.
That was some sort of.
We're never clear if it was like the same or not. But anyway, didn't mean to take us off point. Yeah. But what an amazing episode 6. This so much is happening every episode. Now we know we only have 4 left, and we know we need to have an All Valley in there. Right. And I kept thinking, is the All Valley going to be 2 episodes? And there's just so much moving forward. And you're also getting the feeling that there's no way they're going to resolve all this. Like we said earlier, like you hinted at, like there's no way at all just tie it up and tie a nice little bow into the season. No, we're going to be thrust into season 5 with lots of questions and anxiety, I'm sure.
Well, every season ends on a cliffhanger, right?
In some shape or form. It probably won't. I think we already know this. Of course we know this, we've seen it, but we don't end the season with the All Valley. We have to end it beyond that.
We're not going to have the end of the All Valley. Then Mr. Miyagi there smiling and
that Karate Kid 1, right? Yeah.
And then over.
Yeah.
No, there's a lot to take in, a lot to that's what I've learned though. It has nothing to do with this season exactly as much as just I have to realize every season they're not going to wrap everything up on a pretty bow, and you're not going to end the season and go, okay, well, that was neat. No, they're going to leave you with something to look forward to in the next season.
Yeah. So great episode. Tons of fun. So much going on here. I'm going to see if I get this right. Kicks get chicks. Nailed it. Threw me for a few loops there. But we have Devin. Well, we haven't talked to her yet, but Johnny has his sights on a female to join Eagle Fang.
Yep.
Sam is on the warpath. She is ready for All Valley like yesterday. Tory is getting along with the LaRussos now. The Cobra Kai Dojo is at an all-time high, right? They have gear. They have everyone excited. You give the young kids all this gear and this merch.
Instagrams.
And so, I cannot wait to see what's in store with episode 7.
Yeah, because I've forgotten already. I am wrapped up in each episode as we go.
That's how I am, man. Yes.
I don't even remember what happens in the next episode.
Yeah,
I really don't. I don't remember.
I'll tell you when we record it.
Tell me when we get off the air. Right?
Yeah. So that's it. Enjoy. And now sign off with a word from our sponsor. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped.
And get 20% off and free shipping with the code cobrakai at manscaped.com.
So thank you so much for listening. And please be sure to subscribe to the Let's Talk Cobra Kai podcast, as well as the Let's Talk Cobra Kai YouTube live channel. You can also really help us by giving the show a 5-star rating on Apple Podcast.
And for all you listeners that enjoy sharing your thoughts, you can leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, send us a direct message, or post a comment on any Let's Talk Cobra Kai social media platform.
If you're a dedicated listener or viewer of Let's Talk Cobra Kai, please consider supporting the show on Patreon. We also highly recommend checking out our other podcast and visiting justcuriousmedia.com.